Here we are at stage 3 of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. More qualifying events. This one says to get in some drafting, and that's always fun because that's going to make us faster as long as we don't get some silly bots driving in a strange way like they do on these outlaps. These guys are so goofy on these outlaps, so get around them fast. Hey, you see that? I didn't even touch them. And then I tagged that guy nicely. A little bit of a bump and scrape by him. Well, a little bit of clean. Okay, so drafting again, not a big deal. It just adds it up. Draft off whoever you want. It'll just keep adding it up. Now this time there's also a time requirement, so it won't end as soon as we're done drafting. And not much of a difficulty here at all. So just to recap, I'm doing stages with the minimum PR, only buying tuning when I have to, and I'm not doing any bot slowing. I'm not doing anything to make things easier. In fact, I'm trying to make things harder by finishing as fast as I can, as far as I can in the pack, and with as big of a lead as I can, and we'll just see how difficult this gets. They branded this event as hard, and I don't know what they're basing that on, so we'll find out. Again, I'm not seeing the word hard in my stage, in my game. A lot of you were, so curious to know if it's only Android people or what's happening. On iOS, I'm on iOS and I don't have any of that. Whereas other people have the word hard appearing over both of the next Grand Prix events in update 9.0. Winding down, I have lots of time left on the clock. I could be taking it easy, but why bother doing that? This corner, you stay full throttle in if you get the right trajectory. This one you don't, of course, but you can take it pretty fast. Lots of time left over and nothing to worry about. Nothing at all. As I was saying, very easy. Sorry, as I was saying in stage 2, it's very easy to get lap times under a minute 30. Lots of words here, but not much to worry about. You just have to make sure you stay behind someone for 70 seconds, but it can be anybody. And the speed requirement will just happen. You don't need to try to do it. You'll just do it as you're racing. I think it even adds up the tailing time. Let's just see here. I'm not going to stay behind this guy for very long. Well, and then it's already counting because I'm within the same distance from Hamilton. So now I just have to, so of course, if you would pass Hamilton now, you'd run into trouble because there's only one lap and I'm not going to see any lapped traffic, I don't expect. And he's quite slow in those corners, taking them very strange. And of course, I'm getting tangled up here, so that's going to slow us both down. But yeah, as you can see, I've already hit speed 3 of the 4 times and I was nowhere near speed sections. So very easy stage. Just have to discipline yourself to stay behind Hamilton to meet that requirement. 70 seconds is a long time when a minute 30 is more than enough to get a lap done here. So it's a substantial amount of a lap. And I'm actually, if you stay a car length back or more, the bots won't do that zigzaggy thing. If you tap them, they start trying to lose you. And usually if you're about a half a car length away, they start trying to lose you. These ones aren't as aggressive as the NASCAR bots were as far as trying to shake you, but they still do it quite a bit. Yas Marina is a nice place, some of the nicer scenery. Actually, if you go into blimp view, there's some really cool scenery. There was a lake feature. Well, I shouldn't say lake. I'll just say it's a water feature because I'm not sure what type of body of water it is. But it's a water feature. It looks kind of cool. Some of the overhead shots. Lap time was slower because I was stuck behind Hamilton for so long. And this one, we just have to, again, it's another qualifying lap. So, set the fastest time without going off track. So, I'll push it a bit here and you'll get a good sense of how far you can actually go. See right there? I only had 2 tires on track. Oh, I took that really bad. Now, we most likely have 1 second of grace period, I'll call it. Sometimes they have that on tracks where you get a cumulative second. So if you're off track for 0.2 here, 0.3 there, it adds up. Sometimes they give us a timer. Sometimes they say there's none allowed, but there is a full second allowed. We've even had it where they gave us a couple of seconds of off track, like in the British Grand Prix of 2020. There was a particular stage where there were 3 seconds of off track allowed that really surprised me. But yeah, here we go. Nice long speed run. Still going to try to get myself up to first place. Charles Leclerc. I used him and his car for one event I did. I'll probably use that car in a future event, although with that particular principle, I don't have very much more room on that principle for XP points. Mind you, oh boy, never mind all that. I don't know what I'll do with that car, but yeah, I gotta figure that out going forward. And I'm saving my Red Bull car in case we have another recommended PR event. We don't in update 9.0, but we have 2 more Grand Prix to go. If one of those is a recommended PR event, which I really hope it is, that's when I'll bring out the Red Bull, because that's another really good car out of all the cars that we've got. One of the better performing cars out there. Now I've got, again, I want to visually be in first place. I've already set the fastest lap, so that's why it's showing me in first place. But we have had events like this in the past where you set the fastest lap in lap 1 and you think you're safe, but then the bots beat you in lap 2. So, oops. There I was trying to get side draft. I did not mean to pit him, because that damages me. Anyway, don't want to take chances. Want to make sure that I visually finish in first place, because if I'm visually in first place, there's no way anyone else got a better lap time than me. And it's not going to be a problem. The bots take the back section of this track very poorly. So again, I'm not allowed to go off track here, and you can see, oh boy, I definitely took on damage because I'm a little looser than I should be. But yeah, 2 sides off track, not a problem at all. Again, you could push it on some of these corners, and as long as one tire stays on track. I believe I had all tires off track there, but just for a fraction of a second. So I'm probably at the razor edge of what's allowed, like about to fail this stage. So I'll take it easy through this last turn. Easier than I normally would. 129, yeah, that's definitely slow compared to what I was doing previously. But Hamilton did a 135, so, and then finish in 131. And have to buy tuning, so I'm going to be even faster, not allowed to get damaged. So, yes, this particular stage, I got a little bit too rough and tough with some bots, and so I did end up having to redo this one, because if you do too much bashing, you will get failed. So, but you'll see. I mean, you know me, I'm going to make some contact. Kind of hard not to. And so, well, this is a pretty decent track. Like Monaco? Yeah, right. Good luck having a clean race at Monaco. It's just too tight. Ooh, that was a fun little pass. So far, I don't think I have tapped anyone, and I'll be catching up to Hamilton in a wonderful overtaking zone. Nice and clean. Look at that. Can you believe it? ME7 with all clean overtakes? Nah, that couldn't have happened. I must have tagged somebody. That's just not my style. Like I said, I do work on it. It is important to be able to do that. I don't think I've seen this in any events since we used to get the Gauntlet special events. And a lot of you won't remember those. They were one of the most hated events in the game. There were literally events where you couldn't touch anything, like a touch, and you'd fail. So like right now in weekly time trial tournaments, you touch a wall and you get a penalty. Whereas in regular time trials, you can still get away with some wall contact and not get penalized. So in some of the Gauntlet events, oh, there'd be some crazy stages where don't touch anything, don't have any off track, and so many difficult requirements, but I liked them. They were so difficult, Often I'd end up fully upgrading a car, and then I just have a lot of fun. So, anyways, to you guys who ran those, I'm sure you know. And that wraps us up for stage 3. If you like, please like it. And please subscribe. I'm going to keep on going here. Stage 4 is right around the corner. Playlist is here. Thank you for joining me today.